It wasn't that long ago that Mark Zuckerberg decided to commemorate the launch of one of their metaverse games or whatever by putting out a promotional photo of it. You might have seen this going around. We'll take a look. It's him posing before a really rudimentary version of the Eiffel Tower. And that was designed to get you hyped for the metaverse. Yes, I want that to be my life. I want that demonic version of Pinocchio to be my avatar in this brave new digital world. Now, a lot of people had a lot of reactions to this, understandably so, pointing out that one of the wealthiest corporations in the history of our planet have finally been able to use their thousands of engineers to put together something that looks like the graphics that you could have gotten on an SNES back in the early 90s. But I appreciated Emerson Brookings' comment that 5,000 newspapers died for this, which is also true. I mean, look, the metaverse, which they're staking their future on at Facebook, isn't just a part of what they do. They're renaming their corporation after it. That is what they think the future of all of this social stuff is, and it has crowded out not just newspapers, but all sorts of other things. Now, he was criticized for how bad the graphics look. So Mark Zuckerberg apparently, God knows how much manpower went into trying to make him seem a little bit less horrific. And so they rolled out this, an improvement of it. This is now what he looks like in the metaverse. He said, and this is such an amazing way to defend the original photo. He says, the photo I posted earlier this week was pretty basic. It was taken very quickly to celebrate a launch. No, first of all, it was a posed photo that you were hyped about. Don't lie, stand behind your terrible photo. And what do you mean it was taken quickly? It's not like you didn't get the golden hour light. It's a shot of the graphics in your video game. It doesn't matter how fast they took it, the graphics were bad. And it looks better now, I guess. Although if we could bring the comparison back up again, that's what they were able to do, specifically working to make an avatar of Mark Zuckerberg, which looks more human than he actually does in real life. I'll give them that credit. Do you think they're gonna be doing that for everybody? For regular schmo in there? And also, as much as I think it's totally fair, and let's keep it real, fun to make fun of the graphics of the metaverse, yes, it is to me the least terrible part of it, that it doesn't look good. Them staking so much of their future on this connected graphic experience that's gonna require virtual reality goggles and is designed entirely to drain your bank account of every cent you have. That to me seems like a bigger issue than just the graphics, but what do you think?
Yeah, and I'm really hesitant to say anything because we're just gonna sound like the people we're talking about the internet and the dot-com bubble back in the 90s, and oh, this will never catch on. But really, I mean, there's nothing about the metaverse that is appealing to me apart from maybe somebody can make money off of it, right? That's the only thing that's really appealing about it. For me personally, I think people are already getting pretty fed up with their social media lives. They're not their social lives, but the lives that they lead on social media. It's almost like two different things. And all you need to do is do enough, plant-based medicines, not drugs, but plant-based whatevers, to know that there's so much more to this life than whatever's on your phone. There's so many different ways that you can live a life than whatever's on your phone. And to ask people to just be locked into this virtual fake world any more than we already are, I think is asking a lot of people. And then on top of that, it's like what you said, we're gonna have to have new devices, new infrastructure in our homes, things like that. And to be fair, we did do that with the iPhone and with smartphones. All these new technologies came out, and now we can't function in society without a smartphone, really. So much of our lives is there. If you don't have your email on your phone, then you're kind of screwed at work a little bit. So it would be interesting to see how quickly or if and when this ever gets adopted and how people choose to use it. The metaverse in conjunction with NFTs, it's gonna be really interesting to see what the world looks like in another 10 years.
Yeah, I don't want to sound like that person that's just blanket against technology. I'm not too worried personally about being that person because I actively love technology. I wish there were holodecks and replicators and all that. But you do have to explain what the advantage of this is supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they're doing that. Being able to take a virtual selfie in front of a bad version of the Eiffel Tower. Why do I want that? What's the point?
What is the point of
that?
And what a creepy avatar. I don't want to look like that on virtually fake. Like, I don't want to look like that. I want that representing me. But it does have a striking resemblance to the real Mark Zuckerberg. So I'll give it that.
Yeah. Imagine if you woke up and saw that thing looking at you. That would be the end.
No, so anyway, I hate it. I hate all of it. No.
I hate all of it. It's not that but by the way, first of all, it's not that the metaverse has to be bad. It is that they can't even hide how nakedly capitalistic this is going to be. The only thing that Mark Zuckerberg ever talks, he gives like a fig leaf of something social, as if we're not all connected a ton already, by the way. And then the rest of it is them monetizing stuff that doesn't exist. Because the fact that people who want to drain you of your money have generally had to actually give you something in return has always been a real negative for the capitalists, that they have to give you property or an item of some kind. Being able to do it without giving you anything is really the dream. And the metaverse is the way that they're gonna be able to do that. They're gonna get you to spend rent money on digital property. First of all, you can already do that in a bunch of different places. I'll also remind you that their version of the metaverse is just duplicating what already exists and has for decades. These interconnected digital environments have existed for a very long time. This is just gonna be the most high profile one. That's the most significant thing about it. It'll come preloaded on any number of different devices and all that. And there will be a lot of pressure on you to participate by people you know in your life. And by the way, many celebrities who, in the same way that they glommed onto the NFT thing, because some NFT company gives them a bunch of money, so they tell you why you have to have an NFT. They're gonna be telling you about how much fun the metaverse is, whether it is or not, whether they've ever actually used it or not. People you trust in acting and music and all of that are gonna be telling you that you have to participate. They're gonna spend so much money on this. And that, I think, is the big problem, is that people who are already behind so much economically are gonna have even more obstacles in their way from these new digital worlds that they're gonna feel like they have to participate in.
Yeah, and that was what I was gonna say is, people don't even have rent money to spend on regular things that they need now. They don't have food or money to pay for their groceries when they go to the store. So these people are already struggling. That's the thing with capitalism, though, is people need money to spend money, right? You can't make money off of people who don't have any money. So at some point, something's got to give. There has to be some kind of balance. We have to get back to some sense of equilibrium. If these people who want to take all the money, if they want money to make, and then on top of that, people don't trust Mark Zuckerberg. They don't trust his judgment. They don't trust him to have integrity in his business practices. And he's already done so much damage to the country and to individuals, to our mental health crisis in this country. He's not the person who should be heading up anything like this.
Exactly. Yeah, I just, like people say, the idea that like one of the most socially awkward people in the history of our species should be the one deciding what the future of social interaction is.
Yeah, I don't even want to hang out with him. He looks like such a weirdo.
Does. I know why people like him and people like Elon Musk, like, are these the people that should be shaping our realities?
Everyone is such a dork. All these people are such dorks, but yeah, I don't know. And they got a lot of money, so good for them, I guess.
Yeah, they could also be, they could have a little bit of self-awareness. Like Mark Zuckerberg released that photo because he thought it was cool, and he's apparently surrounded by literally no one that will tell him he's wrong.
I was gonna say,
has no
I
filter
feel like
between
self-awareness is asking a lot from these people because they live in such privileged lives that there's nobody else that's relatable to them except for Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. They're colleagues, I guess you can call them peers, but there's really nobody else. They have a very interesting and disjointed idea of what reality is and what's cool and what really isn't.
For more political news, breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thedamagereport. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.